requests. By making it easier for citizens to report problems, SeeClickFix makes it easier for us to respond. If you see it, click it, and we'll take care of the rest.
As young voters, we have power, real power.
We need to raise our voices to make change in our community.
Young voters turn out big for presidential elections.
But when it comes to local and state elections, too many of us sit on the sidelines.
You'll never be heard if you don't speak up.
Because your vote is your voice.
And your voice matters. Registering to vote is easy at votewa.gov.
begin in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Special Rules and Operations Committee meeting for February 18th, 2025. The time is 11 a.m. Could the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Denson. Here. Councilmember Herrera. Here. Councilmember Hitchin.
Here.
You have 3 members present.
3 members present. We have a quorum. Thank you all for being here. We have our agenda before us, which is approving work for next week. Any changes or additions to our agenda? Seeing none, we'll consider it approved, which brings us to item number 4, which is approval of our meeting schedule for the week of February 24th through the 28th. Ms. Long.
All right, thank you and good morning. This is your meeting schedule for February 24th through the 28th. At 10 a.m. on Monday, the 24th, you have your Rules and Operations Committee meeting. You'll be approving the meeting schedule for the week of March 3rd through the 7th and the council agenda for March 4th. There are 2 proposals on that agenda. First up is R 2025-102. This is granting the executive the authority to execute an interlocal agreement between Pierce County and the City of Ording for the provision of specialized law enforcement services. This has a March 4th final hearing date. Next, you have O 2025-506, and this is declaring certain county-owned personal property, which is used equipment, 1 excavator, as surplus and authorizing the sale thereof. This has a March 11th final hearing date. At 11 a.m. on Monday, you have your regular Monday study session. In addition to your usual agenda items, well, you have 1 item, 1 grant for your review. That's the Community Litter Cleanup Program. This is a Washington State Department of Ecology grant submitted for your consideration by Planning and Public Works. And then under other business, you have a Unified Regional Approach Report. And this will be presented by the Uncommon Bridges and staff of that group. Also on Monday at 1:30, you have a Public Safety Committee meeting, and there is 1 discussion item, and that's the Pierce County Superior Court Clerk's Office. That will be presented by Constance White, the Clerk of the Court, and also Nicole Carbone, who is the Justice Services Administrator. On Tuesday, February 25th, beginning at 9:30, you have an Economic and Infrastructure Development Committee meeting. You have 1 discussion item on that agenda, and it is the Pierce County Economic Development Update. And this will be with Betty Capistani, the Director of Economic Development. Also, Michael Katsy from Tacoma Pierce County Economic Development Board. And then you have Andrea Rie from Tacoma Pierce County Chamber. And then finally, Eric Johnson from Port of Tacoma. At noon on Tuesday is your regular Tuesday study session. And I'm seeing just the usual agenda items there. I would note, or maybe it's a question for the chair too, there was some discussion of having an overview of the executive director appointment and confirmation process during that study session.
I believe that is the plan, but do we need to amend it?
You don't
here?
need to. I mean,
Okay.
you could add it under chair's topics. If it's uncertain at this time, we can just leave it off for now.
Okay.
And then at 3 p.m. is your regular council meeting. As for your other meetings, on Wednesday, February 26th, beginning at 10 a.m. is a Performance Audit Committee meeting, and you have a couple of discussion items there. The first is, I don't know if this is supposed to be proposed contract or proposal contract for the juvenile court study, and then discussion of your regular meeting time. And those are your items for the meeting schedule of February 24th through the 28th.
Okay. Any questions on the meeting schedule? Vice Chair Herrera.
I maybe just caught part of it for the Tuesday study session about adding somebody for the possibly chair's topic. What was that again?
It was reviewing the process to approve executive department directors.
Yeah, so the council confirms the executive's appointments for directors of departments, and some of those will be coming up soon. And so the thought was to have an overview of that process for you at a study session.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Vice Chair Herrera then?
Yes, Chair, I move to approve the meeting schedule for the week of February 24th through 28th, 2025.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the meeting schedule for February 24th to the 28th, 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have adopted a meeting schedule. We will move on to item number 5, which is approval of our council agenda.
All right, thank you. This is your council agenda for February 25th. We'll start with your consent agenda on page 2. You have one item for introduction and scheduling, and that's R 2025-109. This is setting the date of an evening District Number 4 council meeting for Wednesday, April 30th at 6 p.m. at the University Place City Hall. And this has you'll be setting the final on this for March 4th. You have 3 confirmation resolutions under final action. First up is R 2025-108. This is confirming the appointment of a new member to the Anderson Island Citizens Advisory Board. Next is R 2025-110. This is confirming the appointment of a new member to the Pierce County Conservation Futures and Open Space Citizens Advisory Board. And then the last is R 2025-111. This is confirming the reappointment of 8 existing members to the Birth to 25 Advisory Board. And then you do see the grant there, which is pending review at the previous day's Monday study session. We will jump to section 7, proclamations, recognitions, awards, and presentations. You do have one proclamation on this agenda, and that is a proclamation of the council and executive proclaiming March 2025 as Women's History Month in Pierce County, and that was requested by council members Hitchin, Ayala, Denson, and Yamby. Under Section 8, resolutions, you have one item. It's R 2025-107. This is setting the date of an evening District 7 council meeting for Monday, June 2nd at 5:30 at the Nichols Community Center, and that's on Fox Island. Under Section 9, ordinances, you have one item here as well, and that's O 2025-500. This is granting a supplemental franchise number 1 to the OHOP Mutual Light Company for the location of power lines. This received a due pass at EIDC on February 11th, and those are your agenda items for your meeting on February 25th.
Thank you. Any questions? I actually have a question for Councilmember Denson. Do we know if our PCTV truck can cross the Fox Island Bridge? Let me find your name. There you are.
I'm sure it can. Was there a specific reason you
Isn't there a weight
asked?
limit on the Fox Island Bridge?
Well, I'm sure it is, but there's construction trucks going out there
Okay.
all the time.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine.
Okay. Then that was it. I was just like all of a sudden thinking.
It's a big bridge.
Okay.
I would probably feel safer on that one than the Purdy Spit Bridge. So, anyway, went across there.
Okay, good to know. Just checking. Vice Chair Herrera for a motion then, if there's no other questions.
Thank you, Chair. Approve the council agenda for February 25th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the meeting agenda for February 25th, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. That brings us to adjournment. As this is a special meeting, we can't do anything else, so we are adjourned.